Just like Pokemon, everybody's trying to catch them running backs. Everybody wants to have at least one stud running back on their team, but not everybody can have that. So we got to piece together running backs off the waiver wire a lot of times, and we got to look at these running backs from week to week, matchup to matchup, running backs getting new opportunities, and we do this all season long. And even when we do have multiple stud running backs, we still want running backs off the waiver wire because, one, we don't want our friends to have them, and two, we want to have a good stash on the bench just in case our starters get hurt, because that happens too much in fantasy football. We have a running back that everyone's looking at this week, and that's Zack Moss, running back of the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to dig into the stats and determine whether or not you need him in fantasy football. Before we do, you need to click that subscribe button right now. Give it a good tap with the finger on your phone. Click it with your mouse, whatever you need to do. Stop missing out on these deep dives, because we're going to help you win the waiver wire. We're going to help you win those trades. We're going to help you set those lineups, and we're going to help you win your league, because you're going to have the information from these lesser known players, and we cover them all season long. And sometimes we'll do multiple videos on the same player to hammer the lessons home, and plus we'll find more stats to go over. But let's look at Zack Moss here. And the first thing we want to talk about is the information that Zack Moss is expected to lead the Colts backfield this week. And this has happened in different accounts here. September 4th, he was supposed to be the starter in place of Jonathan Taylor, but he had missed week 1, and it was the Deion Jackson show. Wasn't the greatest show on turf, I'll tell you that much. But Zack Moss, a couple days ago, expected to lead the Colts if healthy. Looking like he's going to be healthy, looking like he's good to go this week. So he should be getting that opportunity. At least that's how it's been packaged. We're going to have to see what it's going to be like on the field when it comes to the touch distribution. But everybody's interested in Zack Moss right now. Looking at his production over the last 3 seasons, and it's been up and down. He does have the potential to get you double-digit PPR fantasy production, especially when he was with the Bills last season. He had a mixed bag year when he started off with the Bills and ended up with the Colts, but still, he has been productive. He also had a ton of down weeks as well. He hasn't been the greatest running back. He's averaged 7.1 PPR fantasy points per game over his career. So it's not like you're going to catch lightning in a bottle with this player. It's not like you're going to catch lightning in a bottle with Zack Moss unless the game script gives him some jet fuel, gives him the opportunity to score some points, gets on the goal line, allows him to rumble into the end zone. That's where you're going to see him be able to give you some fantasy points. From the middle of the field on, he's going to have to get a lot of touches. I don't know if that's going to be in the cards, considering you got a rookie quarterback. If the game scripts are a lot like what we saw last week, then we're going to see them throw the ball a little bit more. Anthony Richardson's going to run it. He rushed it 10 times last week. Looking at his production, he has not had a 1,000-yard season to his name. 1,300 yards in 3 years, 4.2 yards per carry. And again, he's decent after contact, but not the greatest. 3.04 last year. But that's in limited opportunities, and then 2.75 on his career, usually 2 to 3 range in the yards after contact. Missed tackles forced, about 20 a year or so when getting some opportunities in a committee. Looking at his portfolio here, 5'9", 223 pounds. He's got the size to get it done. Runs well. He's from Utah. He was very productive there. Came out of Utah, had like a little knee issue. Fell in the draft a little bit to the 3rd round. A lot of people were pegging him to break out throughout his career. It just didn't really happen. But he's a good runner between the tackles, has some good instincts, sees the field well. He's just one of those good between the tackle grinders who can get you yards on short yardage, goal line situations, hold it down for you for a little bit, but not a guy you want to chassis up in fantasy football, really. And the athleticism here, 4.65, 40-yard dash, size adjust speed isn't the greatest. Not a home run threat, but remember during this time he was coming back from a knee issue. However, on the field, watching the tape, you can tell he's not a home run hitter. That's just not his game. But between the tackles, he gets it done. He's dependable. That's what coaches like. Touches can get you fantasy points, but don't expect him to go ham every single week. Because look at the game scripts coming up here. We got the Ravens in 2 weeks. That's going to be a slower game script. The Texans game could be crazy, as in it could be ugly with a lot of turnovers. 39.5 over-under. That means Vegas is saying, hey, we're expecting this to be a slow-scoring game. We could see a lot of turnovers on both sides. We got 2 rookie quarterbacks trying to get it done here in their second ever start. Who knows what's going to happen with that? There is a lot of volatility with this game script. Also, Anthony Richardson could be taking over some carries. Got the Rams after that. Titans after that. Another slow game script. Jonathan Taylor might be back somewhere around that range too. So the odds of Zack Moss really taking over isn't the greatest thing either. Game script dependent here with game scripts that could be very, very wonky here in the near future. Low over under this week. You need the Colts to catch the lead and hold on to it in the second half and use him to pound out the rock. On top of that, you got Deion Jackson, who might make it messy. Did not play that great last week. 1.6 yards after contact wasn't great, but he had a large opportunity share, has proven to be productive, is more athletic, can really hammer it home, can be good between the tackles, has some size. This could be a little bit of a committee. This could be a mess. This could be ugly. Evan Hall's been dealing with an injury. It could be between these 2 running backs. They could be in and outs. Even though one starts the game, that doesn't mean they're going to finish it. This could be an ugly thing here. This could be a very ugly thing here. Again, you need them because you're dead at running back, and you need touches. And you need touches because touches can equate to fantasy points. No matter who the running back is, they could equate to fantasy points, and you just need that. You're trying to take that gamble because you have nothing else to depend on. And you don't need him because you don't want to take a gamble on another jabroni running back. The thing about Zack Moss is if you're thinking about starting Zack Moss this week, I think your fantasy team's in big trouble. Hopefully you're dealing with some short-term injuries. That's not a long-term effect for your fantasy team. But if you're looking at starting Zack Moss, you might be in trouble long-term. Even if he does well this week, the fact that you have to look at him for production when you're in these weird game scripts, and there's a good chance there's a committee here. There's a good chance that he's sharing the backfield. There's a good chance that he doesn't fire. You need him to score to be productive. There's a lot of gambles here. We're just into week 2 of the season. Something went wrong with your fantasy team if you're looking to start Zack Moss. However, if you want 0 RB, here RB, and you're just winging it together the running back position, you're strong at wide receiver, you're strong at tight end, then you're just playing the matchups anyway, and you're just hoping for the best. However, if you're looking at Zack Moss, could be a huge gamble this week because this game script can be ugly. We have 2 rookie quarterbacks. You never know what's going to happen with that. Very volatile. However, if he scores a touchdown or 2, then he can give you some production. Outside of that, though, you're not counting on him. And he's a player you shouldn't be counting on. Just because he's claimed the starter doesn't mean he's going to be getting starter touches, workhorse touches. This could be a messy situation. More than likely, you got other running backs to lean on. Hopefully, in your standard 12-team, 10-team league, if you're in a deep dynasty, deep redraft league, then I understand going this route. But again, very risky proposition. I say, okay, if you're just going after touches and you understand this could go good, but likely could go bad for you. But more than likely, you got something better on your roster. I don't think you need him. I don't think you really need this running back. Joshua Kelly's the guy to get from this week's waiver wire because he has some long-term benefits. Even if he falls on his face, he's got opportunity to score in other weeks down the road. Zack Moss isn't going to be their starter for the whole year, and he may not be the touch leader in this game. We'll have to see what happens. Everything's up in the air. It's not like he's a tremendous running back. It's not like he's the greatest running back. I don't think you really need him. You can go somewhere else. You can play the waiver wire. You probably already got some starters. Odds are you don't need Zack Moss. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Catch you on the next video.